Sadasman Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Osnaminda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gaura Sam Radha Kundi ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Navadip Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the Asma. All glories to the Asma. All glories to the Asma. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, first chapter, text number 37 through 39, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on July 27th, 1973, in London, England.
Translation. O Janardana, although these men, overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, with knowledge of the sin, engage in these acts?
The other party, Duryodhana's party, they were not considering all these pious or impious, sinful or vicious activities. Because lobha upahata cetasa, they have lost their sense on account of greediness for acquiring the empire. There are many places stated there. Kamastasta hitavjnana jajanti annadevata. Krishna says that those who are worshippers of other demigods, actually worshipful is the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Others, they should be shown respect. But worship means for the Supreme Personality of God. He is worshipful. Saranyam. He is to be taken shelter of, he is to be worshipped. That is being taught. That is religion. Manmana bhavat bhakta madhyari mang namaskuru. Always thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, worshipping Him, offering Him obeisances. That is Krishna consciousness movement. The deity room, offering obeisances, worshipping, chanting, dancing, always be engaged to offer respect and submission to the Supreme Personality. This is the duty of everyone. Because all living entities are by constitution eternal servant. That is their healthy position. So long they remain servant of the Supreme, that is healthy. Same example I have given many times, that my part and parcel of the body, this finger, so long it is fit to give service to the body, it is healthy. If it cannot give service, then it is disease. Similarly, all living entities who are not rendering any service to the Lord, they are simply working for sense gratification, that is diseased condition. And in the diseased condition, nobody can be happy. That is not possible. If you have got some disease, you cannot be happy. So that is the position. They cannot understand that by serving Krishna, we become healthy or in our normal position. This is called ignorance. Somebody is trying to forget him, somebody is trying to become equal with him. This business is going on. And nobody is submitting that, my Lord, I forgot my service. From this day I become again your servant. Please give me protection. Sarvadharman parityajya mam. This is the teaching of all Shastra, all Vedas. But these people, the other party, they have become blind. They have become blind. Why? Lobha apahata cetasa. They have lost their sense. Kulakhaya kritang dosam. There is a great fall by destroying dynasty. Nowadays people are destroying from the home, abortion, contraception, destroying. They do not know. Kulakhaya. Actually, putra means, pu means punnamo narakam. There is a hell which is called pun, nama, narak. And tra means trayate, deliver. So putra means punnamo narakat trayate iti putra. The Sanskrit word for son. Putra means that the son is expected to deliver the forefathers from the Hades condition of life. Sometimes due to our sinful activities, we become ghosts. There is very hellish condition. So when Shraddha is offered by the putra, who will offer? The putra will offer, that is the duty. Then he gets again material body. These are the subtle laws. People do not know. Neither they are eager to know. But these are the information we get from Vedic literature. Putra has got a duty to save the forefathers. Therefore, one has to, it is his duty to keep a putra. At least one son he must leave. But people are not very much anxious to have putra, rather to kill putra. They are so sinful. Kama, lova, hata, cetasa. Simply sense enjoyment, that's all. Why bharja? Why one should marry? Putrarthe kriyate bharja. Bharja means wife. One accepts a wife. Why? For a putra. For a son. Oh, why son is required? Putra pindam prayojanam. Offering oblation by the putra to deliver the forefathers. That is prayojanam. That is absolutely necessary. Each and every one should leave a putra before his death. He has got so many duties. This is Vedic civilization. But nobody now cares for that. Neither it is possible. Therefore the only remedy is to surrender. Sarannam. Devarsi bhutaptu ninang pitrinam. Nayagarinena kinkara rajan. Sarvatmana je saranam sarannam gato mukundam parihittukatum. The one excuse is that every one of us, we are indebted to Devarsi, Devata, the demigods. The demigods, just like Indra, he supplies us water. Just like we are obliged to pay tax to the water department, to the fire department, to the education department, so many departments, government. Or once we pay our income tax, that is distributed to so many departments. So actually why we pay? Because we are indebted. Now the sunshine, we are getting advantage of sunshine. So we are indebted to the sun god. Similarly, we are indebted to the moon god. We are receiving so much advantages. Varun, Deva. So we are indebted to so many demigods. Similarly, we are indebted to the rishis. Just like Vyasdev, he has given us this Vedic literature. We are taking advantage of it. So, we must feel indebted. Devarsi Rishi. First of all, we are indebted to the Devatas, and then to the Rishis, then to Bhuta, ordinary living entities, just like you are taking milk from the cows. We are indebted. No, we are killing them. They are committing simply sinful life and they want to be happy and peaceful. You see? We are indebted. I am obliged to you for your service. So instead of feeling obligation, if I cut your throat, how gentleman I am. Just see. Imagine. So we are indebted. Devarsi bhutato ninang pitrina. And pitrina, this pitri, kulakha, forefathers. I have got this body. From my grandfather, my father has got this body. From my father, I have got this body. I am also indebted. Because this body, human body, is a chance for understanding, for my position. I can get out of the clutches of this maya of transmigrating from one body to another. So this opportunity I have got by the grace of my forefathers. These are feelings of obligation. And there is duty. Therefore, Arjuna is considering so many things because he is devotee. Kulakshaya kritanga dosanga mitradrohi chapakam. These rascals, they have become lost of their intelligence on account of greediness for acquiring the empire. But so far, I am concerned, Arjuna said, katham na gyam asmabhi, plural number, by us. Us means including Krishna. He is saying not I or by me. He is including Krishna. You are in this side. So, because you are on my side, you are my charioteer, if I do not consider all these things, what people will say? That Arjuna is such a great devotee of Krishna, and Krishna is there, he is committing such sinful activity. Therefore he says, Kathagana gyam asmavi. He is dragging Krishna also. That is right, yes. A saintly person, a devotee, should consider all these things before acting, whether I am doing it properly or improperly. This is Arjuna. The other party, lovo upahata chetasam, apahata chetasam. They have lost their sense. But we cannot. A devotee must be very responsible. He must act in such a way that nobody can blame him. Otherwise everyone says, what kind of devotee he is? So this is the duty. They should be very cautious. Sannyasi, they should be very cautious. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sannyasir alpo chhidre bahu kori mane. A ordinary grihastha or grihastha only, if he talks with a woman, nobody will blame. He is grihastha. But if a sannyasi talks with a woman very intimately, immediately people will talk, no talk. Sannyasir alpo chhidre bahu korima. That is the practice. He should be very cautious. So a devotee, a sannyasi, they have got very, very great responsibility. People will very easily criticize them. So Arjuna is considering all these points. Kathaganagayam asmabhi papat asman nivartitam. They may indulge in these sinful activities. How we can indulge? What people will say? Kulakshaya kritanga dusang prapasadbhi janardana. Hey Janardana, you are maintainer of the people. So if people become sinful, though it is very difficult to maintain them. These things have been considered. Kulakshaya. So we cannot destroy family. But on one condition we can become free from all this obligation. What is that? Gato sarannam parihuttukatvam saranam mukunda charan. One who has dedicated his life simply to serve Mukunda, Krishna, Mukunda. Muk means mukti, liberation. And Ananda. Krishna gives liberation. His name is Govinda, Mukunda. Hundreds and thousands of names Krishna has got. So, if one has taken fully surrendering unto the lotus feet of Mukunda, he has no more any obligation. Either this Pitri, Devarsi, Deva, Devata, demigod, Rishi, Bhuta, he is immune because he is transcendental. But so long one is not a devotee, one who is not fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Mukunda, he must have to follow all these regulatory principles and duties. He cannot be released. Everything account is kept. Prakite kriyamanani guni karmani sarvasa. Everything is noted down. Karmana daivanetrena. According to his karma he is going to get another body. These are the subtle laws. Therefore, ulakshayam dosham. You cannot destroy your family. Materially, you cannot destroy your family. So, Arjuna is speaking, Kulakshayam kritanga dosham prapassad bhijananda. We can see, these rascals, they have lost their intelligence. But when we see how we can destroy the family, the further explanation is given. Next.
Translation. With the destruction of dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligious practice.
So much responsibility is there, killing the family. Because they have no responsibility at the present moment, everyone irreligious. Two things are there, religion and irreligion. Krishna also says, Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati abhutthanam adharmasya. If we cannot keep on religious principles, then we have to do something, then we have to enhance our irreligious principles. So this family tradition, according to Vedic civilization, was very strictly observed so that the family may be kept in order in religious principle. Why? Now because the human life is meant for reviving his eternal position. Sanatana. This word is used here. Kuladharma sanatana. The real purpose of life, especially human life, is meant for reviving our Sanatan Dharma, Sanatan occupation, eternal occupation. By observing the rules and regulation of Varnashram Dharma, 4 Varnas and 4 Ashrama, that is called Kuladharma. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Each one of them must strictly observe the rules and regulations of that particular ashram. Why it should be observed so strictly? Because by observing the regulative principle of each stages of life, one will be able to please the Supreme Personality of God. Varnasramacharvata purushena parapuman Vishnu aradhate nanna tattva sukarana. If we observe strictly the rules and regulation of Kula Dharma. Kula Dharma means if you are a Brahmana, you must observe the regulative principles, the qualitative principles of a Brahman. If you are in a Kshatriya, then you must also observe the Kshatriya principles. All these are described in the Bhagavad Gita. Who is Brahmana, who is Kshatriya, by symptoms. By symptoms we have to accept whether one is Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya, not by birth. That is the injunction of the Shastra. So, this has to be observed. If we want actually deliverance from this material entanglement, so these rules and regulation of Kula Dharma, we must observe. If we do not observe, then immediately we become irreligious. Dharme naste kritam kristam adharma abhibhavati iti uto. Uto, Arjuna said, it is said, he has learned from higher authorities. Uto, it is said means said by authorities. So, if adharma, irreligious life is propagated on account of loss of Kula Dharma, then everything is lost. Hare Krishna. So, why shall I kill? Other things also will be described later on, that when the male members are killed, the female members become widow, and their character becomes polluted. So many things Krishna will speak about this family life. So, at the present moment there is no such family life, no consideration of religion, no consideration of irreligious life, everything just like animals. Kalau Sudra Sambhava, if not animals, they are all Sudras, nobody Brahmana, nobody Kshatriya, nobody Vaishya. So it is a chaotic condition of the human society, therefore it cannot be revived to the original position of systematic, institutional position. It is not possible, everything is lost. Therefore, by the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace, one thing, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasti eva gatinandata. Everything is lost. Now, simply by chanting Hare Nama, the holy name of Lord Krishna, you become again situated in the original position. Everything is adjusted because it is transcendental. So there is no other way. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that from the Shastras he has selected this process of Sankirtan movement, Cheta Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirbhav. The human life is meant for extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. But we are not in regulative principles. We have lost everything, our Sanatana Kula Dharma, everything. Under these circumstances, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us the greatest facility according to Shastra. That is the boon of this age. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, everyone becomes free from all contamination of this age. Mukta Sangha Parang Vrajet. And he becomes so purified that he becomes fit to go back to home, back to Godhead. So, this opportunity, chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, we should not miss. We must. Where is the difficulty? Hare Krishna chanting. Kirtaniya sada hari, tinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahisnana. This is the only savior for the human society of this age. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Next is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. First chapter, text number 40. Given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Recorded on July 28, 1973, in London, England.
Translation. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become corrupt, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny.
This is very important point. For good population. Without good population in the society, gentlemen, culture, educated, following the rules and regulations of religious principles, how we can expect peace and prosperity? That is not possible. So, the whole Vedic system was meant for having very good population. Not such kind of population.
Next class is continuing. We will hear for some time and then we will have question answer.
To killing and drinking and so many other sinful activities. No, then you cannot check. If such population is there, then everything will be polluted, especially nowadays, because there is want of good population and they go in the government and how you can expect good government, good administration? The whole population is polluted. Therefore, in such a great state, USA, the president is being tried and is being criticized. So there must be good population. So to have good population, the woman should be very chaste. That is the basic principle of Vedic civilization. And to keep the woman chaste, it was the function of the responsible father, or in the absence of father, the elder brother. He must get the woman, the girl, married. It is compulsory. There is no compulsory for man to marry, because a man may remain brahmachari. By training, he can abstain from sex. But if woman is not protected very strictly, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. Chanakya Pandit has, it is we are discussing Shastra, don't think otherwise. Chanakya Pandit says, Vishwasa naiva kartavyam strishu rajakuleshu. Vishwasa naiva kartavyam. Don't trust woman. Vishwasa naiva kartavyam strishu. Strishu means woman. Rajakul and politicians. Yes. Vishwasa naiva kartavyam strishu rajakuleshu. Never trust the politician and woman. Of course, when woman comes to Krishna consciousness, that position is different. We are speaking of ordinary woman. Because Krishna says in another place, Striya Vaishyas Tatha Shudra. They are considered women, Vaishya, the mercantile community, and Shudra, and the worker class, they are less intelligent. Papajoni, when the progeny is defective, then they become less intelligent. So Krishna says, Mang hi patha vipasritya jepishu papajuna. Sriya Vaishya tatha Shudra stepi janti parangati. In papajoni, degraded birth, in woman, Shudra and Vaishya, they also can become fully Krishna conscious by training, and they can also go back to home, back to order without any check. So, when we study things from material point of view, these things are to be taken care. But when a man or woman becomes Krishna conscious, he or she takes care of herself or himself. So, it is spoken, Arjuna is speaking of ordinary woman. Strishu dushtashu. Just like adharma abhi bhava, adharma. If the woman is trained, a girl is trained from the very beginning that you should remain chaste, that is dharma. It is called satitya dharma. Sati means chastity. There are many stories of Sati, chaste woman. Naladamayanti. His husband became so poverty-stricken. He was king, but he became later on so poverty-stricken that he had no sufficient cloth. So the husband and wife was putting on the same cloth, half and half. So still there was no divorce. You see. Still the woman did not consider, she was also king's daughter. But the husband has fallen down to so much poverty-stricken condition. So why shall I leave it? These are some of the extreme examples of chastity. Not to speak of olden days, I have seen in Bombay in 1935 or 34, on the roadside there was a beggar. The beggar, the face was defaced, might be some accident. His eyes and everything became defaced. He could not see, everything became useless. So he was sitting on the roadside and his wife also sitting. But I saw that beggar was neat and clean, the wife was also neat and clean. The wife's business was that to keep the husband always neat and clean and fresh and bring him there and again take him at home, young woman. So I could understand that the wife is so chaste. She has not left such ugly husband because his face was defaced and helping him because they require some money. So we have seen there are many stories of chaste women. Many stories.
Hare Krishna. थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया दो लेक्चर सो क्लास का टाइटल था द वे टू सेव द सोसाइटी. सो वर्ष भगवद गीता का वर्ष है, यद्यपेते न पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसा कुलक्षय कृतम दोषम मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम कथम न नेयम अस्माभि पापाद अस्माम निवर्तितुम कुलक्षय कृतम दोषम प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दना. भगवद गीता 1.37 to 38. So, Prabhupada, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, those who are worshippers of other demigods, so what we should do with the demigods and what we should do with Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada told one line there. हाँ. हाथ ऊपर गया उनको माइक है वायरलेस
Hare Krishna. We should respect the demigods and we should worship the Supreme Person.
हरि बोल. So Prabhupada told ki why we should worship Supreme Lord. He gave an example of finger. So can anybody explain इस example को बोल सकता है? Finger का example दिया प्रभुपाद जी ने कि हमें भगवान को worship क्यों करना है? Why we should worship Krishna?
It's telling just like finger is there. So finger is supposed to serve the body as a part and parcel of the body. But if finger is not serving, then it's a diseased condition. Same way living entities are part and parcel of the Lord. So they are actually supposed to serve the Lord. So if they are not serving, that means there is a diseased condition of the living entities.
Hari Bol. So Prabhupada says people are trying to become happy. But if you are diseased internally, you cannot be happy externally. Similarly, unless you become servant of Krishna, we cannot be happy. Then Prabhupada said one is a healthy condition, one is a normal condition. One is a disease condition and one is a normal condition. What is a disease condition and what is a normal condition?
When we are servant of Krishna, that is our normal condition. When we do sense gratification, that is disease condition.
Hari Bol. So Prabhupada says nobody is trying to submit that my Lord, I forgot my service. From this day again I want to become your servant. Please give me protection. Sarva dharman parityaja. So here Prabhupada talks that when Arjuna is telling that I should not kill, but other people want to kill. They want to destroy. What was the reason? Why they are doing this?
Because of greed, lobha, and because of lobha they lost their intelligence.
Hari Bol, Lobha. So Prabhupada said Arjuna is fearing that he will destroy the Kula. So why we need a putra exactly? Prabhupada explained from the Shastra, we need a putra.
There is a hell, its name is Pu, and one who delivers Trayate from that hell is called as Putra. So, so the Putra is required to be delivered from the hell called, and offered Shraddha. Shraddha is offered by the Putra. That's why everybody in Vedic civilization do leave behind a son before they die, so that he'll deliver the forefathers.
Haribo, Haribo. So Prabhupada explained this verse, Devarshi Bhutapta Nunam Pitrunam Nayam Runi Nacha Kinkaran Rajan Sarvat Manaye Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihatya Kartam. So Prabhupada first explained that what are the different depths on a society, which are the depths on the society.
There are debts to the demigods like Surya, Chandra, Varuna. Then there are debts to the rishis like Vyasadeva. There are debts to other animals like the cow which gives milk. There are debts to the parents, father, mother, they give the body. So in this way there are debts to so many people.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. So therefore Prabhupada says that Arjuna was worried what will happen, and he was considering that not to fight. So then Prabhupada says that a devotee is very responsible, that he must act in a such a way that nobody can blame him. Otherwise everybody can say, what kind of devotee? And then he talks about sannyasi, or the renounced order of life. He speaks something, what is their duty, what they should do.
Prabhupada said that if a householder talks to a woman, then nobody will mind it. But if a sannyasi talks with a woman intimately, then people will immediately start criticizing it. So sannyasi must maintain his pure character.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Then Prabhupada talks that when you don't follow these things, they worship Bhutaptan Nunam Peturnam. But if you follow one thing, then you are removed from all the depths. So what is that one thing? He explained the meaning also, the word Mukunda.
Prabhupada told that if we take surrender unto the lotus feet of Mukunda, then everything, all these obligations are eradicated.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Prabhupada explained Muk means Mukti, liberation, Ananda. So Krishna is Mukunda. When you take shelter of Krishna, he gives you the liberation. Okay. Prabhupada says there are different regulations, different varnas and dharma, different duties. So how we recognize people from their which varna and which duty, how, whether it is birth or what. So Prabhupada gives some example also.
One word, symptoms, he said, not birth. But based on the symptoms, you recognize the Brahmana or not.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. So Prabhupada said that is the injunction of the Shastra, that one should observe the principles given for his varna and ashrama. And if you do not observe, then immediately we become. If you don't observe this principle, we become fallen.
We become fallen.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. We become irreligious. We become irreligious. Dharme nashte kritam krishnam adharmadvi bhavatyuta. So now then Prabhupada comes to the conclusion. He says at the present moment there is no such family life. No concept of religion. And what life they are living now? What life they are living?
Sutras.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. So Prabhupada says they are living animal life. If not animal, they are all Shudras, what Prabhuji said. So then, therefore, one person came and he gave the powerful solution to get from all of them. Who is that person and what solution he gave? 1 second. ठीक है पीछे बोलो.
So, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kalo, Kalo Nastava, Nastava, Nastava Gatiranyata. This chanting of the holy name, this Sankirtan movement, is the only solution for the people of this Kali Yuga.
And who gave that?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Bol! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is talking about two sides, the Kaurava side and the Pandava side. Pandava side is concerned about what is moral and what is not. Whereas on the other side, they never care about anything because they are selfishly geared towards sense gratification. Whereas in Pandava side, Arjuna is, because of his divine quality, is considering what is righteous and what is not. That's a very important point. And therefore, he is talking about dharma, adharma difference, whereas Kauravas don't care for adharma. So that is the main theme with which Prabhupada began the talk. And then when you talk about dharma, he spoke about what is Kula dharma. Kula dharma means Varnashrama dharma. And in Varnashrama dharma, he spoke about many things under the category of Varnashrama dharma. One of the things he spoke about in Varnashrama dharma is even about the woman also, chastity of woman. And then he told about the face of that beggar was defaced. Still that lady was faithfully serving him. So woman should be trained to be chaste. Another thing also he said about Kula dharma or Varnashrama dharma is the son's duty towards the father. That means every married person should actually beget a son, understand the value of a son. The value of a son is the father can be delivered from the hell. Otherwise the father may become a ghost or something. So he was telling about that duty, he said. And then he was telling if a woman is not a devotee, then she cannot be trusted. Rajya, Strishu Rajya Kuleshu Cha. He quoted the Chanakya, Vishwasam Naiva Kartavyam. So if there is a material woman, there is a spiritually trained woman. Spiritually trained woman is chaste. Materialistic woman is like mantra or people like that. They cannot be trusted. They are very complex, very dangerous, he said. Similarly, a man who has begotten a son who delivers the father, he is liberated. Whereas a father who doesn't have a religiously trained son, he becomes a ghost. So in this way, good side, bad side, both is saying about Kola Dharma. And then Arjuna's attitude, Prabhupada said, those who are dharmic people think, Arjuna is not saying, I will be afflicted by sin. He is saying us, including Krishna also. That means those who are walking the religious path should always be cautious, because we should not bring bad reputation to Prabhupada or ISKCON. We should know that we are representing this society when we are going out in the world. We may think I am inclined to sense gratification, but if you fall down, then the society's name gets spoiled. So similarly, he says, Krishna, you are guiding me, your name also will be spoiled. So using the word asmabhi. Asmabhi means we. He's calling. So that was one caution he gave. So after saying all these things, at the end you may say that, okay, now I am ready to lead a dharmic life. And what is the dharmic life in human form of life? And then Prabhupada said, then Deva Rishir Bhutapta Nrinam Pitrinam Nakinkaram. So if you want to lead a dharmic life, these are the debts which are lined up. And the debts are one or two. There are too many. And in Kali Yuga, is man capable of fulfilling all these debts? It's not possible. But there is a one-stroke solution, which is Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihirta Kartam. Just become a devotee of Lord Krishna and chant his holy names. It's a one-stroke solution. Then he says, Naking karo, Nayam Rini Charajan. You are not a servant of any of these personalities and you are not debtor to any of this. So therefore for Kali Yuga people this method is the best because they cannot meticulously perform the debts to all the different agents. Neither do they have time, nor do they have knowledge, nor do they have the qualifications of a Brahmana. They are all Shudras in Kali Yuga. So how do we implement this one-stroke solution? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nastyaiva, nastyaiva, nastyaiva gatiranyata. So he concluded with the solution beautifully. So overall, if you see, the lecture is about Varnashrama Dharma. On one side, the duties of an ideal follower of Varnashrama. On the other side, those who are adharmic fellows, the Kauravas and other people. So naturally one should discard the adharmic path and follow the dharmic path. In dharmic path also one should think, of what is the best way we can accomplish the religious goals in this day and age in which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So therefore one should take this chanting of the Hare Krishna very seriously, because if we don't take it seriously, immediately the other debts come upon us. Deva, Rishir, Bhuta, Apta, Nrinam, Pitrinam. Because we can't escape from those debts, then we will become sinners. So those who really don't want to become sinners, then they should take this duty given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seriously. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.